Let's talk about the FLIR E5-XT. It's a thermal camera that promises to reveal hidden problems and save you time and money. But here's what surprised me. After weeks of testing, I found several critical flaws that could make it a frustrating and expensive mistake for the average user. I'm here to save you from that regret. For the best price, click the link in the description. Welcome, everyone. If you're watching this, you're probably a homeowner, contractor, or DIY enthusiast looking for a serious thermal imaging tool. You've seen the ads, the impressive specs, and that glowing 4.7-star Amazon rating. The promise is huge. Find electrical faults, missing insulation, and plumbing leaks with a point-and-shoot device. It sounds like a superhero tool, right? But what if I told you that for many people, this camera is more like a sidekick with a bad attitude? A very expensive sidekick. Therefore, today we're doing a deep, honest dive into the problems no one is talking about. We'll cover the good, the bad, and the downright confusing. And yes, we'll even tell you who it might actually be perfect for. Let's get into it. The first thing you notice is the price tag. At nearly $1,200, this isn't an impulse buy. It's an investment. You're paying for the FLIR name, which is the gold standard in thermal imaging. And on paper, the specs back it up. The 160x120 thermal resolution is a big step up from cheaper models. The MSX technology, which overlays a visual image onto the thermal one, is genuinely brilliant for identifying what you're looking at. The temperature range from -4 to 752 degrees Fahrenheit covers almost everything you'd ever need. And the FLIR Ignite cloud integration promises seamless workflow. It's a professional-grade tool. But here's the first major interjection. Professional grade often means professional complexity. Therefore, the initial setup and learning curve hit me like a ton of warm bricks. This isn't a toy you unbox and master in 5 minutes. The menus are dense. The Wi-Fi connection to the app can be fiddly. It feels like you need a certification just to change the color palette. I spent more time reading the manual than I did scanning my house. Talk about a hot mess. Let's talk about the image quality because that's why you're here. The thermal sensitivity is good. You can clearly see temperature differences. A cold draft around a window, obvious. An overloaded circuit breaker in a panel. It stands out like a sore, hot thumb. The MSX feature is a game changer for detail. But, and this is a huge but, the display on the camera itself is a letdown. It's small and the resolution isn't great for a device at this price. You often find yourself squinting, then needing to transfer the image to your phone or computer to really see the details. That's an extra step that breaks your workflow. Therefore, the promise of quick diagnostics gets slowed down by the very tool meant to speed it up. It's like having a sports car stuck in first gear. Now, let's talk about battery life and real-world use. The rechargeable battery is fine, but the camera doesn't sip power, it guzzles it. If you're using the Wi-Fi and screen constantly, you'll be reaching for the charger sooner than you'd like. And speaking of real-world use, the 9Hz refresh rate. For the uninitiated, that's how fast the thermal image updates. 9 times a second sounds okay. But when you're moving the camera around, looking for a small hotspot, it can feel laggy and blurry. It's not a deal-breaker for static objects, but for anything moving. Forget it. This isn't for inspecting spinning machinery. That's why it has that weird export control warning about military use. Not that you were planning to inspect a tank, but it's a joke about government paperwork. The government saw this refresh rate and said, yeah, enemy spies can have this slow-mo tech. Here's another problem disguised as a feature, the cloud. FLIR Ignite is powerful for storing and sharing reports, but it pushes you hard into a subscription model for the full suite of features. You buy this premium hardware, and then you're nudged toward a software-as-a-service model. It feels like buying a car, and then being told the turn signals are a monthly extra. Over-the-air updates are great, but they also mean the camera's performance and features are now partly in FLIR's hands. What if they change something you don't like? Therefore, you lose a degree of control. For a professional who needs consistency, that's a genuine concern. Let's pivot to image quality. The MSX tech is patented and it works. It makes images readable. But the core thermal resolution of 19,200 pixels is, in 2024, starting to show its limits for the price. You can see large issues clearly, but finer details like individual wires in a conduit can be a mushy guess without getting very close. For serious electrical work, that ambiguity is stressful. You're never 100% sure if that's a warm wire or a hot one. It's the thermal imaging version of, is that dress blue or gold? So after all these problems, who is this camera actually for? That's the resolution we need. The FLIR E5-XT is not for the casual homeowner wanting to find a draft. That's a $400 job for a different tool. This camera is for the serious professional who needs a reliable, accurate tool for daily diagnostics and can bill for its use. It's for the HVAC technician who needs to verify system performance, the building inspector documenting moisture issues, or the industrial maintenance crew doing predictive maintenance. For them, the accuracy, the robust reporting, and the FLIR ecosystem justify the cost and complexity. The problems I listed are mere speed bumps on their job site. They need the data integrity and the report-generating capabilities. Therefore, if you are not making money directly with this tool, it is almost certainly overkill. My final verdict: don't buy the FLIR E5-XT unless you fit that very specific professional profile. For everyone else, the cost, complexity, and quirks outweigh the benefits. There are more user-friendly, purpose-built options for home energy audits or basic electrical work. This camera is a specialized surgeon's scalpel, not a Swiss Army knife. You wouldn't use a scalpel to open a package, unless you're a very intense person. And if you are that professional and you've decided this is the tool for you, then I have done my job by making sure you go in with your eyes wide open, knowing both its power and its pitfalls. You can handle its bad attitude. For the best price on Amazon for the FLIR E5-XT, click the link in the description below. Thank you for watching this honest review.